Welcome, CityState 2 fans, to CityState 2 with Omnius Prime. Episode 15, 100K University and Government Unlocks, version 1.3d. Here we are in front of the government at HQ. Okay, it's at level 2 of 5. At 100,000. Okay, over here on the far left, government headquarters. Okay, we need 100,000 national population and 8 enacted policies to progress. Now, for some odd reason, the 8 enacted policies is not lighting up green like it did in the other selection. So I've reported a little bitty bug to Andy. I also reported the bug if we go way over here to the left, okay, you have your university, 100,000 national population and education level higher than 65. If you look down here, I've got 66. So those policy changes that I made at the end of last episode have paid off. I have gotten my education score up to 65 as I went from 77,000 to now 99,752. Okay? So now what I want to do is just go ahead and let's run a little clock. Because what I want to do is watch this building transition when I hit 100,000. So I guess, ooh, central bank. Yeah, I don't need it. I have my inflation under control. Okay, there we go. So, as you could see, the building popped up in size, okay? And notice now I have 3 of my Don't Tread on Me Ukrainian flags. Slava Ukraine! So, the government upgrade to keep up with growing national population of city government has been enlarged to accommodate additional lawmakers. New policies can be enacted. Hooray! The central bank. I don't need the central bank right now. I don't need to buy USD to keep inflation under control. Now, let's pop up here and take a look. As you can see, I've got 734,000 cash on hand. Let's come up here. Now, this is interesting. Right here, the university research cost. Yesterday when I did a little test drive doing this, it was 195,816. Now it's showing me a research cost of 195,832. So it looks like, I don't know, I must have stopped a little quicker. I'm at 10,065. So it might be that the more population I have, the higher the research cost, which means that if that is the case, you want to unlock buildings as quickly as you can to keep these research costs down. Now, the Edenium was a mere $503. And now we have the 195,832 research cost for the university. And even though the education level higher than 65 is red lit, which is a bug that I just reported to Andy, as long as we see the research cost, boom, now it says that it's available. And if we look, now here in over on the right to the government headquarters, we see that the next unlock will be at 400,000 national population. We'll need 20 enacted policies. But my next government unlock is going to be now the capital. Got to get to 300,000. This is down at the bottom. Got to get 300,000 national population and 30 enacted policies. And basically, if I get the capital with 30 enacted policies, I know those 20 are going to be, done already. So So now I have the university. Now, as you can see, I'm down to 538,000, and I have not backed off on my high tax rates. Okay, I have kept them going. You can see my 0.8 inflation. Okay, still doing my national contribution. I now have 103,000 in my national treasury. Like I said, that's kind of like a slush fund right now. My money printed went from 20,000 down to 10,600. Let's come over here. Let's take a quick look in my stats. Parks at 120, traffic congestion a mere 15%. You can see in my informal demand down here that it's like minus 500. Okay, I have no worries about slums. You can see my housing market's minus 20, my civil rights are minus 14. Okay, so I've got a minus 27 going in here each like month or something like that. Still working on my social ladder. Still keeping those taxes high. Birth rate 2.6. A little over 2 is basically a growth birth rate. Corruption 3%. Incarceration rate has gone down to 0.067. It looks like. Income inequality only 48. Okay, my population growth I can see, you know, by the different levels of income. Now we back here to my to the cyclotron of fortune here, the retail down to manufacturing to office. I like my exchange rate where it is, you know, at kind of like I've got a weak currency, but it helps my basic manufacturing. Okay. The inflation rate that's nice and low is helping my advanced manufacturing. Now, I did spot another bug in the game that I had to report to Andy. And so you might see this in your game. I had to build a second port. I had 1,635 traffic in one port, okay? And then what happened is my over here by trade balance, the ports and airports, it went negative. And so I had like it went negative. I had a negative trade balance, which gave me like a 0.7 trade balance carry down minus, or plus, I mean. So I had about 1.5, 1.6, something like that percent inflation instead of my nice 0.8. So I had to build a second port. Now, obviously, so I've got my 10% here. So my 10 and 16 is keeping my exchange rate at bay. I probably could have also pulled the trick off by building another mining site, but I'm holding off on the mining site, building up mining sites, because I don't want, right now I've got, let's see, 13,616 in exports or supply, that's manufacturing. I have 11,730 in imports, that's demand from commercial, office and retail. And so I've got about a little under a 2,000 difference. So, you know, these ports are 22,500 capacity. So I should only need one port. So I've reported to Andy and sent him a good picture where I had this up so that he could see that it was in the red, and I had the port up so he could see that I had a very low port capacity. Now, let's come up here, and I get to build a university now. Hot diggity dogs. 48,000. It's going to cost me 2140. Okay, so now universities are pretty big. Oh yeah, I want to show you one cool thing about one of the new features of this new road building guide is that Andy also took out, you know, kind of dumbed down the trees. Oh, it used to be so difficult, you know, when you're doing roads, to be able to see what was going on. So what I have to do here is I'm going to add a road here. Okay, now I'm going to come back here and build my university. Notice I didn't put 2 roads down. So now what I want to do is find my little spot here. See, now right here you can see how it's facing my avenue. As soon as I move over here, now it wants to face the road. So I can't, see, this is where I wish I could tab and make it face the way I want it to. So I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet, put it here. Okay, now when I do this road right here, I can't do it all the way down. So this one's just not, and I don't think what I want to do is try to you know, dork the road around to the right and dogleg it on down to the left. So I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. So now I have a university. Okay, I have more legislation. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more legislation picks for economy, government, and society. So that gives me what, 12 picks. So now what I'm going to have to do is spend a little time looking at the different choices I have here, like student loans. I think that's going to affect education. Okay, so what I'm going to do is probably maybe, you know, I'm really surprised that my education is only up plus 1.9. I mean, I really jacked that thing up big time with the policies. So I'm really surprised. That just looks really low. Okay, my civil rights looks about right because I jack it up pretty good. But my education, man, that should be a lot higher than plus 1.9. Because I mean, I've been just jacking it up. So I'm gonna look through all of these, like prostitution. I might want to go for prostitution and get the red light district. Okay, because what I'm doing is unlocking buildings and stuff. So I now have a university, and I'm going to be back in another segment, and I'm going to show you which policies I'm going to choose and what the choices will be. And then I'm going to show you a slick trick about my next goal is to get my education up from 66 to 90. And I want to do it by the time I hit 120,000 so that I can unlock Arcology A. I also want to jack my and I want to get my carbon capture, because my carbon capture is like goes with my mining sites to reduce their pollution effects. And then of course it's going to be the big lift education level at 100 or above, so I can get my fusion power plant. So I'll be back in a moment where I can actually show you how what policies I'm going to choose, and then start running some clock and seeing how they affect my my city. Back again. I wanted to look at the approval screen. When I last left off with you on last episode, I had just made some policy changes, and I had really trashed my my approval ratings. Right now, I have a 55% approval rating from the left and the right. Boy, talk about even-handed, huh? And so here we go. I have 46% right wing, 54% left wing. So, and I'm back down to an elitist republic because my civil rights score has gone down. So as my civil rights goes up, it goes up to the right. So it'd go to a liberal democracy, liberal utopia. The economic freedom goes up and down. So if I can gain economic freedom, I could go to a capitalist republic, or libertarian republic, or libertarian utopia. And if somehow I could get to, you know, like about 90 or something on both ends, I could hit utopia. So, you know, very interesting. I love the way Andy laid this approval screen out so that we have some ideas as to why each side likes me or dislikes me. Funny that my tax rates at 25% are equally disapproved by the right and the left. So now, let's get back to what I was really wanting to do. Well, let's see. So I've done some zoning. Let me do the legislation first. So I found something like 5 policies that I want to do. So if I come over here to the economy, I want to do standard work hours. Okay. So let's take a look at my choices. No limitations. Now, I'm focused on education. I'm not worried about the rest of the stuff, okay? So if I focus on education, that's a plus 2%, okay? Limited to 50 hours, plus 1%. Limited to 40 hours, no help on the education, so the 40 and 30 hours I'm not interested in right now, especially at the negative. Later on, maybe. So I'm going to right now choose no limitations. That's really going to honk off the left at minus 80%, and it's going to have 30% approval from the right. Okay? So I want that education effect. So I'm going to say no limitations, and it costs me no money. Okay? Now I'm going to do the stimulants and supplements. Surprisingly, okay? So allow all stimulant drugs and supplements, gives me a little boost to education. Ban stimulants doesn't. Provide free dietary supplements to all citizens, a little boost here. Prescribe stimulants to all adult citizens, 2 plus 2%, that's better. So I want to prescribe stimulants to all adult citizens. Oh, and Andy, adult, singular, not adults, citizens. Okay, so adult would be singular, citizens would be plural with the citizens. Now, that's going to give me a minus 50% approval from the right, so that's going to kind of counterbalance the last policy that I had. And well, at least it won't honk off the left anymore. A definite hit to my health care and my birth rate and my security and my civil rights. A boost to social ladder, a hit to corruption. Cost $1,501. Woo! Bite the bullet. Okay, so that was economy. I've got some government ones. So the government ones are going to be, let's see, family allowance. Okay. So if I go none, that gives me no help on education. To low-income single parents gives me a +1. Get a +1 with to low-income large and single parents. And a +1 to all families based on number of children. Okay, since, and look at that $1,000 cost. Since my education boost is 1 in each one of these, see, that's $250. So this is going to cost me the least, give me the education that I want, a little bit of approval from the right, a little bit of disapproval from the left, and I'm getting a little bit of help in civil rights and social ladder. And it's a $250 cost. So I'm going to enact that one. And now we're going to do student loans. Okay. Provided by private banks. Whew, that big negative one there. Provide loans with below market rate interest. Gives me a little negative 0.5, but that's not good. Grant scholarships to low income. Gives me +1. Cover all university fees. Gives me +1.5. Good for the civil rights and social ladder. +3. 50% approval from the left. 20% disapproval from the right. Okay, it's going to cost me $1,001. So let's go ahead and enact it, because remember, the name of the game is smartening up my population. Okay, so I think I've done all 5. So let's see. The student loans, the family allowance. The government, I did the student loans and the family allowance. And on the economy, I did the standard working hours and the stimulants Oh, I did 6 of them, huh? Okay. Somehow I did 6. So no limitations, prescribed, government I did 2. Okay, and society I did 1. Okay, so 2, 4, 5. Did 1. Um, the prostitution one isn't going to give me any education help yet, and I have to wait and see about my um, scores and stuff on some of my other stuff. So it's going to now. I'm not really making 17,551. When you first come in, these numbers are suspicious, so you have to run clock and let the numbers warm up. The statistics need to warm up. Now, I just popped in the university here. So instead of a 4x4, I decided to do a 4x6 lot here. Off to the here, there's going to be a 6x6 Arcology. I'll plop a 4x4 park in here on the avenue. I'll leave this little stretch in here as just woods. Okay, and I've got a little 4x4 stretch in here for 2 4x4 schools or police station, hospital. I've got a wide area here to place a high school. Okay, and there'll be another Arcology there, Arcology here, Arcology there. Arcology's in the corner. Now I've got some. Let's turn on the filter here. So I've been doing prospecting. Now, when I prospect one of these lots like this, from corner to corner, the whole lot, that cost me $17,340. This cost me about, I think, 11 or 12,000. Okay. Now, places where I don't prospect and save it are either residential, where I'm obviously not going to be building mines and stuff, and I don't need to prospect for it. So what I do is and once again, here I wished I could have had like residential in the top and maybe manufacturing and commercial on the bottom, so that I had a residential run into a business. But here I had good resources over here on the left. Down on the bottom, this is going to have good resources too. So it was unfortunate that I just couldn't get a nice lineup of residential into business. As you can see here, once I get to the next block. Now, one of the other things that I've learned is that but I'm not going to show you quite yet, is when I draw roads out to here, it will level up roads on the sand here. Okay, so they'll level up. But once you go into higher terrain, like right here, you can see I've had to dig into the terrain. Here, it will try to make the road go up. Okay, so this is where you have to, on the higher elevation, do the terraforming. So, and then here, I am going to end up having to do some serious terraforming because the water, I have to make it land again. Maybe just sand so that it can build up the roads and stuff. But I'll probably just go to the green level, just to be on road level. Now, let's see. I've done my legislation. I have done the special buildings and all that good jazz. Now, what I need to do here, border control, okay? Hold on, let's take a look at the airport. Oh, wow, I'm down to 322 of 200. Okay, so all of a sudden it looks like my monthly arrivals have dropped quite a bit. So I was going to drop this down from 10% to nothing when I was like around 600. Just to cut it down and get a little better mix of people coming in. But I think I'll leave it alone right now. But what I'm going to do is something dastardly, okay? I'm not going to upgrade the connections or the airport level. I'm going to close the airport. I'm going to shut off immigration for a while. Okay. So here's my little trick that what I'm looking for is what I want to do is jack up my education score. Okay, it's at 67 now. I built now elementary schools are good for 50% of the education score. High schools another 30%, and then the university adds the next 20%. And let's get up here. Let's take a look at. Okay, here's my elementary school at 1584. So I've got 100 capacity. Whoops, I've got to run some clock here. Let's run some clock. Okay. Now, ooh, look at that policy score, 112 over 100. Okay. Look at my final grade down below, 104. Okay. Now, that's what I'm looking for, is to jack up my policy score way up and get that grade way up. Because what I want to do now is cut down my immigration, so that what I'm doing is basically letting education just level up. Let's just go ahead, let's run some clock now, and let's just see what's going on. Woo! So now I'm making 6,600 after all of those changes and stuff. And let's see, I wonder what's going on with, okay, Border Control, about 260 something. So now look at my housing demand. That's gone down a bit, okay, which is good. I'm already up to 68. Okay, gonna need some water. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm not too worried about fast growth. Let's see, that one's closed. This one was open. Yep. So let's just go ahead and open one. And I'm really close. Let's open 2 of them while I'm at it. Okay, let's open 2 of them. And let's come over here to electricity. See, this is what's, you know, it after a while I'll stop doing this, but right now I'm trying to save some money. Let's do that one. So I can let the clock run a little bit, and then it won't whine at me about power. So there we go. Now I'm off to the races. Because what I want to do now is slow down my immigration, slow down my my growth rate. So let's come up here. Let's take a look at the population. Woo! Look at that birth rate down. Now my birth rate, I'm actually losing population. Okay. Look at that. So I'm at 102. So what I want to do is grow slow. Okay. Look at my education score. Up to 69. I'm up 3 already. Now, if I need to, I'll add a little bit of. I'm watching my city score there. Okay. Look at that. Economy reaches full employment. Oops. Now I'm down to 3% unemployment, which isn't necessarily real good. So I'm going to start adding residential, but I'm not going to add business. Because what I want to do is bring my unemployment rate up a little bit. Wow, look at that. I'm already at 71. Okay. So the whole idea is that, see, right down here, I started these first 3 big blocks right here. 1, 2, 3. These are basically almost all medium density. And so they're not going to upgrade, which means that they're going to stay nice and stable. Okay? So let's take a look at, whoops, oh wait, here it is. So there's my education score at 79 out of 100 for that building. How about this one? 79. And that one, 79. So now what I'm trying to do, this one is, whoops, that's manufacturing. There we go. There's an 89. Wow. And then over here in my newer areas, Let's see, that's 62. Okay, so I'm already up to 74. So the whole idea is now it's a race to 90 before 120, and then a race to 100. So I'm going to kind of just watch my. I don't need to grow much. Current lack of workforce is affecting all businesses. So yes, that's okay. I'm going to have to do a little more residential zoning. Wow, look, I'm down to 2% unemployment. Puta. So let's see. This is going to be another one of these blocks. So I'm going to come up here, make room for my arcology. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my arcology. 7 is a space. Start with 8. Go out 160. I get 5 lots. Boom. Now I'm going to come up here, and now I'm going to use the control key and turn this into 2 6x6 and 2 4x6. Boom. Okay, so now that gives me some more population. I'm already up to 75. Yeah. I need some water. I need some power. Come on. Okay, so where am I? That's power. Okay, on. Let's open him up. Let's open him up. Now, where am I here? That's closed. That's closed. Closed. Open. So we'll go. We'll open up that guy. We'll open up this guy. And now, let's watch the growth. Now, and let's keep an eye on the unemployment rate, because like I said, you see, I'm going to zone some residential here, but I'm not going to zone any business, okay? And look at that informal demand, minus 500. I've got that thing pegged. Okay, let's take a look. I'm at 76 on the education and 106, 792. So I'm growing slow as far as population. I'm adding money. Look at that. I'm already up to 852,000. So yeah, I'm growing. Now what I've got to do is get that unemployment number up. So I'm going to have to do some more building. I'm going to, oh yeah, I'm going to have to, I think what I'll do is I'll place another couple of blocks in here and stuff. What I'm going to have to do is do some prospecting now and see what I've got in the way of minerals and stuff. And then maybe what I'll be doing is I'll have to do some terraforming here, some big scale. So current lack of workforce. So let's see, where am I at? Look at that, 77, 78 on my education, okay? So now, you know, I just keep building it up. Now my budget, 0.8 on the inflation, you know. I've got 152,000 in the National Treasury. I'm still doing the 1%, okay? Still keeping my tax rates the same. Then when we come over here, we look at population. Got parks at 120 still. That quality of life score is looking really good, okay? Now my social ladder is getting better as far as unemployment and stuff goes, and policy. So this is getting better, and so is the social ladder for the middle class getting better. My economy, let's take a look. I'm still at 5.9, so I'm still a little positive. You know, the exchange rate is slowly but surely working down. I just don't need to buy USD to run it down. And then hopefully soon Andy's going to fix this ports airports thing so that not continually adding ports. Look at my participation rate, 80%. Oops. GDP growth 1%. GDP per capita now 66.8. Get up to 100 GDP per capita, and I can do air taxis. And let's take a look at my approval. Wow. So after all of that radical policy changes, my approval ratings went up by 2% in both areas. Let's see. Let's not there. Not there. No, it's under legislation screen. See, plus 2.5. That just for education. That just looks ridiculously low somehow. So I'm going to have to talk to Andy and point out that some of these things just do not look right. So now I'm at a plus 26.5, so I'm leaning, more heavily to the left right now. But I need that. Oh yeah. So let's see. So allowed with government app pre-installed. Okay. Did I do it or did I not? Do I enact it? Bingo. Oops, I didn't do it. Okay, so now, let's see. I've got some prostitution. Let's just go legal with the normal business permit. Gives me some money. Okay, because what I want is, let's look at this. I need 60 points of economic freedom. I'm at 55. Okay, can I get 5 more points of economic freedom out of my policies? Labor unions. So what I'm looking for now is economic freedom. Okay, here's an only if granted by the employer. That gives me a nice 3% pop. Okay, let's take a look here. So now prostitution policy set to legal, so that's good. So let's see now, one child policy. Where am I going to get some more economic freedom? No restrictions. So nothing there. So no help on the one child policy. Let's go to economy. Let's look at the stock market. There's economic freedom. There's 4 points with self-regulated with private rating agencies. Not something I would like to do, but the plus 4 economic, it looks good. Ooh, look at that. So now, okay, red light district. Research, 480. So red light district. Where is the red light district on my, there it is. So I'm going to do 480. For that one. So what I'm doing is I'm actually writing down the cost of the research. So now I've got the red light district available right here. Okay, and let's see, where was I? Down here somewhere. This was where I wanted a red light district. I was talking about it in an earlier episode. So boom, here's our red light district, kind of newly redesigned. Okay, so let's take a little look here. We've got ladies, anything virtual, bar, the lobsters. What do you mean by God? I'm not too sure about why. I would think that you'd need a saying that goes with something about lobsters, and something like a tasty meal or something. So some of the sayings are kind of strange in this one. So what do we have here? Worm World. Woo, that's cool. So let's come down here and let's see. Where did I go? I got lost, didn't I? There it is. So WW Worm World, what's that say up top there? Better call Solomon. Do you call Solomon for ladies? Is he a pimp? Okay, so we got Tyrell Corp. Now let's see if I can get down into the nitty gritty here. Okay, come down a little more. Well, we got some X's here. Are they triple X's? Oh, there's a whole bunch of X's. Okay, reticulated spines. Ooh. So, well, I think I've had enough of showing this redesigned spot. Oh wait, there's some little signage down here. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Got plastic beauty, but 100% recyclable. That's a cute one. And then you got a biblical shop. The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the ground. Another strange saying. And I guess you got to have those Christian fanatics ruining, the good times of the red light district. And then there's a casino right there, so that's cool. And then you got the monkey food. So yeah, I got my red light district. So, you really have to pay attention to policies to let things go. So now I'm going to have to just kind of go ahead and let clock run a bit, so that what I'm going to do is get the stability score up, and I'm going to work on my education. I need to do a little more zoning for housing. Oh, good gosh, now I'm down to 1% unemployment, and I'm going to need to add some water. So I'm going to have to come back in another segment and kind of clean up some of these things, build some more residential, add some more streets and stuff, do some more prospecting. Wow, now up to 943,000. Okay, my income is up to 9,949. Still got about that 2,000 difference in trade. Difference in trade balance, and so now I'm still good with my ports and airports, okay? Despite now you can see how it's just, as I'm running clock, it's down to now 9.57. It was just at 9.6. And I like that 78 education score. So by turning off the airport and really slowing down my city population growth, what's happening is I'm jacking up my education score, which is what you want. Back again. I've been running a little bit of clock and building up and stuff. I built these two blocks here, and they're residential. Okay, I might build business out to the left. I might even build a residential in this area. Now, one thing I wanted to show you is like when you're going from, like, say, this green ground level over the first level of, so the green ground level here, okay, to this level right here, which could be, I guess, green or sandy, the white, the roads will automatically level up one level, okay? So that's one thing that I found. Now, I'm not sure about two levels, so I'm going to do a quick little test right here. And let's see. Okay, so as you can see, it'll do it two levels down. So here it is it's just building it up real nice and flat. So this is one little cute terraforming trick that I've been figuring out, and I wanted to pass along, that, yes, you can terraform above this beach sand stuff from ground level, and it does it for free. You don't have to level it up with the terrain tool. Now, when you're going and cutting into terrain, like I'm doing here, yeah, you always have to do the terrain tool and dig. As you can see, like right here's a perfect example how I've dug a trench through here, okay, and can just lay my road in real nice and slick like that. So now, remember my goal, getting to 85 on getting to 90. Okay. Now let's take a look. I've got a few more policies that I can go ahead and pass. Okay. So let's see. Let's take a look at foreign investments. I don't have to worry about education effects here. Okay. So let's see. What do I I definitely don't want to trash economic freedom now. I might do this when I'm trying to get the rehab center. Uh, so let's just take a look here and see what I've got going. Plus 3 points on economic freedom. That's cool. Let's take a look at this. Foreign investments restricted in tech companies. Okay. Economic freedom plus 1.5. See there, it's up 3. And screen's up, so there's my demand screen. Here's my stats screen. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at economic freedom of 50. A little bit of negative on each side, but now my approval rating is popped up. Let's see, what else am I looking at? Plus 1.5 there. Banned in tech companies and real estate. Okay, I get a little approval from each, a little bit down on the office demand, a little basic down, and advanced manufacturing up. And if I ban all investments, big on the corruptions, a bad hit on economic freedom. So I definitely don't like that. So here, I kind of like this. It kind of gives me a little approval boost from each side, okay? I get a little bit of advanced manufacturing. You know, I hate the loss to office and basic manufacturing. But I think I'm just going to do that and make people happy a little bit. Okay, so that takes care of economy. Let's look at government. Housing benefits, okay? None. That doesn't look good. Zero interest mortgage program, some social ladder boost, birth rate boost. I could use that. A little negative on the civil rights, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Income-based housing benefits, up on civil rights, up on social ladder, up on birth rate. Woo, cost me $11.30. That only cost $5.65. Universal housing benefits. Plus 3 on civil rights, plus 3 on the social ladder, plus 3 on the birth rate. Big approval on the left, but whew, $19.77 cost. Let's go with this guy right here. Gives me a little boost here and there, and I'll take the hit on the civil rights. I get some approval on the right and a little disapproval on the left. And I keep saying that I'm a liberal? So, let's see what we got here. Universal basic income. Let's start off with none. That doesn't look very appetizing, other than to piss off the left and get a little approval from the right. 10% of average national income. Get a plus 1 in civil rights, a little boost in social ladder. You know, still a little approval on the right, disapproval on the left. $5.65 cost. 50% of average national income. Plus 1.5 on the retail, plus 3 on the civil rights, plus 1 on the social ladder. Ooh, definitely don't like that plus 1% on the education. Ooh, don't like that minus 2 on the education. So right now, let's look at this guy right here, 565, 10% of average national income. So we'll go this way. And do we have any society ones that we can do? How about one-child policy? Let's take a look. No restrictions. Gives me a little civil rights, a little birth rate, a little religiousness, a little approval on the right. Ad campaign to dissuade couples to have children, a little plus 5 on the social ladder. But a definite negative on the birth rate and religiousness. Prohibit families from having more than 2 children. Ooh, bad on the civil rights. You know, a boost on the social ladder. Good on the health, but you know, birth rate and religiousness, that doesn't look good, and it causes corruption. So, you know, definitely don't like that. Ooh, oh boy, big hit on the civil rights. Nice social ladder climb, but once again, big hit on the birth rate and religiousness and more corruption. And you can see big disapproval on the right and a little on the left. So if we go, I tell you what, my birth rate sucks and the religiousness sucks. So let's go with the civil rights plus 0.5, a little approval on the right. That seems to be a nice, safe choice for now, okay? And we can get the custom when we get the capital, which is great. And then we'll get more policy choices. So I have made all my choices for now, and my stability is at 60. Let's run some clock here and watch population grow. So I'm growing just very slowly. Okay, it's 113, 361. So I'm up 1.1 million. Okay, got 192,000 in the National Treasury. Still haven't dropped my tax rate. Don't need to. As you can see, my housing demand looks great. I'm ignoring my business demand right now. Now, I'm at 1%, now down to 0% unemployment. Even though I'm not zoning any business, what's happening is businesses are leveling up. And offices are very notorious. When they start leveling up, they start sucking in the employees. And then I'll have some businesses go out of business temporarily because there'll be a lack of workforce. So if I looked around, I could probably find some businesses that are going out of business. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just building up. And at 86 now, and I'm at 115,000 in population. And you know what I'm doing is just running clock now, rebuild my stability, building up my money, and building up my education score. Okay, and like I said, you know, I don't need the central bank yet because I don't need to be buying USD to stabilize my currency right now. So I got a lot of middle income housing demand. So what I'm going to have to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to be the Arcology plus 1 space. So I'm going to go to 8. I'm going to draw 160. Okay, that gives me 5 lots there. Come over here, hit the control key, and I get 2 6x6 and 2 4x6. And then boom, it's just that easy to do my house building. And now I'm at 87. So I think I've done enough. I'm going to come around to my next episode, which is going to be unlocking some new buildings and stuff, like the Arcology and stuff. So I'm kind of running out of time here. But as you can see, by turning off the airport, I've slowed down my immigration. And yeah, I've got lack of workforce, but I will solve the problem. And I'm starting to run out of water. So I hope you found this episode interesting and my new gambit interesting as far as raising my education score. I'm at 117,000 population. I'm at 87 education. So I got to get to 90 to get to 120 to get Arcology A. And then, you know, I'll have the carbon capture. And then it'll be the drive to 100 for the fusion power plant when I get to build a lot of Arcologies. So I hope that you've enjoyed this episode and you'll be back for the next one.